Welcome, dear yogis. This is Echo. Welcome to Yoga with Echo. And welcome to my space here in Guatemala. Bienvenidos. Today's practice is inspired by, of course, every practice is inspired by my own relationship to the practice of yoga, the practice of contemplation, the practice of mindfulness. And the inspiration for me today is kind of this energy and this invitation for those of us that are highly empathic and empathetic to really self-care and to self-soothe in a highly fragmented and divided world. Those of us that are deeply, deeply in tune with the subtleties of our felt sense take a burden, take a load sometimes when we don't know how to really self-resource ourselves. So the invitation here, and this is for any human being, but specifically it is the invitation for those of us that feel sometimes so overwhelmed and overstimulated and a bit sometimes overburdened by external challenges, by internal emotions, by kind of really figuring out internally what is mine and what is not mine. You know, when we walk into spaces, and this is every human being as a sentient being, when we're really tuned in and we're really observing and we're feeling the space, our nervous systems are tracking so much at any given time, and we're feeling so much. And a lot of times for most of us, it's really hard to differentiate what is happening internally and what's happening externally. And it can lead to agitation, it can lead to frustration and confusion. And so the desire here today is to settle into yourself again and to let the external world wash away as you step into the microcosm and really get clear about what is yours, what are you feeling, listening to your breath, listening to the kind of the song of your soul, what's happening. So that being said, let's start in contemplation, a short little meditation. So find a comfortable seat, sit up nice and tall. Hands resting on the knees, relax your shoulders. Relax the neck, maybe it's on a little swivel for a moment. Let the silence settle into your bones. And begin to relax the muscles in the forehead. Relax the muscles around the eyes. Relax the muscles around the mouth. Slight smile here, let your lips part. Begin to relax the shoulders and the neck. The area across the chest. And the belly. And let your breaths be big and bulbous. A lot of times we suck the belly in. Let the belly out. Like the kid at recess eating a bag of cookies, just let your belly pour out of your pants proudly. Let the hips grow heavy, the wrists, the knees, the ankles. And then just a few minutes here in this contemplation. This is inspired by Tonglen. If you've done the Buddhist meditation, Tonglen is when we take in the suffering or the darkness of the world through our inhalation, and when we transform it, transmute it into something good for us, good for those around us, good for the collective, we breathe it out on the exhalation. And don't worry, this isn't bringing it in energetically and holding it. It's that knowing empathically, empathetically, that all of that stuff external to you that you breathe in each day, you can imagine it like black smoke coming into the lungs, this long line, black line of smoke as you inhale through the nostrils. And as it comes inside, it goes around a golden circle. You can imagine the circle at the hearts. You're just kind of holding the breath in as the black smoke goes in a circle around the hearts and begins to turn into gold or white light. And as it turns into gold or white light, you breathe it out on the exhalation. And you can imagine real things in your life that are causing suffering or challenge for others, for your community. And just slowly on that inhalation, breathe it in with care. Make sure that your body is soft, that you're not clenching. Let it move around that wheel of the heart, the golden heart. As it transforms, let white light or golden light come out on the exhalation through the nostrils. And continue. So let this breath be easy. Don't take too much in. Don't force too much out. Let it be nice and smooth. Let the breath come from the bottom of the belly up through the diaphragm, across the chest. Turning into that golden white light on the inhalation as you exhale it out. So whatever feels right to you, if the imagery doesn't work, it can be something else for you. But you're breathing in that which is uncomfortable. You're transmuting it and breathing out what is released and soft and tender. Let's go through 5 more rounds of breath. And last round of breath. And when you're ready, drop the right ear to the right shoulder. Get a nice stretch through the left side of the neck. And not forceful here. You can turn the head on a swivel, meaning turning the chin down or up. You might hear the jingle of my earrings here or the sound of the crickets. It's actually quite peaceful morning here in Guatemala. And I invite you to sound anytime you need. This feels so good for the body, for the throat. Turn your left ear to the left shoulder. You can move it around. Maybe you need some ahs or some sighs. The sounding really helps to massage the throat and the whole body. Feel the vibration, the frequency go through. Begin to find some neck circles. I feel like my earrings when they make this jingle. It's like it reminds me of Christmas bells. Little things like this as well, you know. What do you wear that brings you joy or a smile? What smells? What textures? Like how do your clothes touch you? Your hair up or down as it tickles the back of your neck. There's so many ways to really care for yourself here. Turn in the opposite direction with your neck circles if you haven't. And this practice of coming back to ourselves is it's really kind of becoming our lovers. How can we love ourselves and do little beautiful acts of service for ourselves, like our morning practice? Slowly coming back to center, you can open the eyes. Making ourselves tea, wearing clothes that we like, or fragrances. All right, let's take an inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, slowly, hands come down through center, and we're slowing things down today. So when we come back to self, we need to slow down. Inhale, reach up. And that way we could tune into the subtleties, bring hands down to center. So notice your breath. Notice if your body is kind of beginning to melt. We want to thaw out the body if it's feeling rigid or contracted. Inhale up. And exhale down to the heart. Bring the fingertips to the top of the shoulders and circle the elbows back and down. Forward and up, back and down. Eyes can be open or closed. And again, we're just tuning into the subtleties. What is your body trying to tell you today? Move in the opposite direction. Last round. And come back to center. Let's take an inhale, stretch the arms up. Exhale, twist to the right, right hand down behind you, left hand on the right knee. Feel this in your belly, open the chest, and do your best to just let the neck hang loose. Don't crank it all the way back to look all the way back behind you. Just did all that goodness for the neck. We don't want to strain it. Again, this practice of slowness is for us to really tune into the whispers of our higher self. You know, when we're going so fast, we're moving, meeting, consuming, producing, creating. Can even feel my body contract as I say all those words. You know, we need to take time to just slow down. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, twist to the left, right hand outside the left knee. And when we really slow down, it gives us an opportunity to differentiate ourselves from our external world, even though both are one and the same. Coming back in, it's like you're crawling back inside your skin. You're arriving back into this vessel. And such a beautiful reunion. Come back to center, inhale up. And exhale, hands to the knees. So we're going to take some Sufi circles. Hands onto the top of the knees. Let your chest dip to the right. Press into the left knee. And circle through the center to the left and up. So there's no perfect way to do this. I encourage you to just get curious. I like to press my palms into thighs like I'm a little kitty cat pawing at skin. Move in the opposite direction when it feels good. Maybe you go down low, maybe you stay up high. Sound if you'd like. Keep moving in opposite directions. Swaying maybe the neck as well. And my sounds might sound a little funny for you. I encourage you to find your own. For me, it is this beautiful vibration through the back of the neck. It allows me to loosen all the way from my throat down to my belly. So I begin to vibrate the vagus nerve that reaches into my belly and loosens that feeling of stuckness or nausea. Come back to center. Beautiful. Maybe you need another sip of tea, like me. And let's come into all fours. So tabletop position, one of my favorites, cat and cow. Let's move again, nice and slow. So on the inhale, let the belly drop down, look forward. Feel that stretch in the chest up to the neck. Exhale, chin to chest, round the upper back. Inhale, belly drops, look forward. Exhale, round the spine, chin to chest. Inhale, belly drops, look forward. Exhale, round the spine, chin to chest. Inhale, belly drops, look forward. And exhale, round the spine. Continue to move. And begin to find some natural movements on the inhalation and exhalation. Sometimes I draw my hips back to the heels, pressing my palms into the earth. Any natural movement here. Get your neck involved. You can circle the upper back from side to side. Move in opposite directions. Sometimes I lift an arm and open the chest. Again, no right and wrong here. This is self-exploration. So instead of just listening to me, being your own teacher, what feels good for you, you know best. Let's take 5 more rounds. Last round of breath. And come back to neutral. So as you come into neutral, take an inhale, lift the right arm up to the side. And exhale, sweep it under the body, come down to the right shoulder, stretch the left arm forward. We get into the right deltoid. Stillness, silence, tune into the subtle frequencies within. And when we really tune in, we can feel the constant buzz and vibration of life. We might even begin to hear it. And you can hear the crickets in the background as well. Left hand back towards the face. Inhale, reach the right arm up and through. And exhale down to the ground. Inhale, left arm stretches up. Exhale, sweep it underneath. Come down to the left shoulder, stretch the right arm forward. A big part of self-care is knowing our boundaries, knowing when to say no, knowing when to say yes, knowing when to take some space to differentiate from ourselves and our families and communities. Self-care is not selfish. Very important. Bring the right hand back by the face, lift up, left arm. And exhale, bring it down. So let's go ahead and tuck the toes under. Sink the hips back onto your heels and make sure that even the pinky toe is tucked under. Again, I'm going to drink my tea here for a moment. Sit back onto the heels. Let the hands rest on the thighs. And we simply sit and feel. So this can be uncomfortable. Our myofascial lines, meridians, all the energy most begins and ends in the feet. And so there can be a lot of stuck, stagnant energy, especially because we're not used to being in squatting positions anymore as human beings. So if we're feeling stuck in life, if we're feeling stagnant, if there's agitation, irritation, coming into a toe squat for a few minutes can be really beneficial just to move some of that energy. And if you start to get agitated or too much warmth comes up in the feet or in the ankles, sigh it out. You can also hum, which feels really good, the vibration in the throat. Slowly come forward onto the hands, untuck the toes, and just pat them out. That can feel really nice too. Sit back onto the heels, hands behind you, lift the knees, a little rock here. And come back to sitting onto the heels. So you're going to bring your hips over to the left heel. So your butt's kind of just hanging out on the left heel. Right hand to the right side, left arm stretching up and over, get nice and long. And you can look up towards the ceiling to the left. Right palm presses in, hips pressing to the left, that left arm stretching up to the right. Come back to center, switch sides, hips over to the right heel, left hand down, right arm stretching up and over. Look up towards the ceiling, get nice and long. Back through center. Slowly come back up onto the toes, standing on the knees, and we're going to come into a heart opening here. So Ustrasana, camel pose. Hands to the hips, and you can have the thumbs wrapping around the lower back. Open your chest, shoulder blades down the back. Take an inhale. Exhale, stay here slightly looking up, or begin to bring the right hand down to the right heel, left hand down to the left heel. Open the chest. Maybe the head drops back, so this is a lot happening. If you can't come all the way into this back bend, don't. It is completely fine. Stay upright and just look up. Heart towards the sky. Slowly back up. I'm going to bring the hands down to the earth. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, and we're going to walk into a forward fold. So we're not going too much upright today, but we're going to stay here in the forward fold. If you need to bring the floor closer to you, you can bring a couch cushion here or a block. Slight bend in the knees, space between the knees, let the head drop in. Maybe you take opposite elbows, ragdoll here for a moment. I'm feeling really tender in my lower back today, so I'm going to keep my fingertips on the ground. If I had a block, I'd use a block. And we're just letting gravity do the work here. We're stretching and lengthening out the entire back line, so releasing the back line where we tend to hold a lot of fear. Last breath. Bring hands alongside the ankles. Inhale, slowly roll up as you're massaging the sides of the legs as you come up. Can even give a squeeze to your glutes, to your lower back, to the side bodies, to the neck. And all the way up to standing. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart. Exhale, reach up. And hands to heart. And that was an inhale, reach up, exhale to heart. Bring hands alongside the body. And just stand here with the eyes closed, feet grounding into the earth, stillness, listening to the sounds around you from the external environments, and then tuning into the internal. Softly, 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 we begin to really listen to ourselves. What does our heart, our mind, our body want for us to hear? Open the eyes, bring the feet a bit wider. Slowly sink the hips down, come into a yogi squat. Hands to heart center. Press the knees open. Lengthen up nice and tall. Maybe a sip of tea. Hands back behind you. Stretch the legs out in front of you. And if you need some bolsters or some pillows, put them under the knees. We're going to do another forward fold, just as we did standing. Take an inhale, open the chest. And exhale, slowly fold forward. So again, if I had props, I could lay a pillow here or a bolster in front of me. But for now, because I've got that little pinch in my lower back, I'm going to use my elbows on my thighs to keep myself lifted a bit, but I'm still getting that length in my back line. So always listen to your body. If there are pinches or if there are pains, don't go so deeply. And be kind. Very kind to yourself. Slowly coming back up, finding a comfortable seat as we come into our last posture, sitting up tall as we arrived. Close the eyes down. And take the right hand to the left shoulder, left hand to the right shoulder. Let the head drop in here for a moment. Deep embrace of ourself. Take a deep breath in, deep sigh out. You can let your head be wherever it feels comfortable, maybe a little rocking from side to side of the shoulders. We stay here for a moment, just kind of cradling ourselves. Tender practice. This is why we have two arms, you know, two arms to embrace or hold ourselves when the world cannot. So first, caring for ourselves. What do we need? What do we feel? What's ours? What's not ours? How do we come back to safety in our home? How do we make our vessel, our body, a safe haven to land? Bring hands to heart center, bow head to heart. The tender, empathic, and empathetic, sentient being that I am, that feels challenge and pain and discomfort, honors the tender and sentient being within each of you that also feels discomfort, unease, and challenge at times. May we all find more grace dealing with the discomfort. And may we all come back home to ourselves to really give the medicine of observation, of tuning into the sensitivities of our own expression. Namaste. Gracias, 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 yogis. Thank you for joining me. You can find me in all the places down below. And I hope for you that you're feeling a little bit more soft,